Test on one day. India, England, Australia. What a player! What a player! What a player!
Hello and welcome back to Waadaplaya Concussion Sub-Series, where today we will be previewing the T20I series between India and Sri Lanka. Remember, India won the series 2-1. Should have won it 3-1, 3-0 probably, but Sri Lanka had a good consolation win, which they can be proud of. Looking ahead to the T20I series, big year for T20s. The World T20 is coming up, and all eyes would be on team combination, etc. So I have Vishak, Akash, and Suman with me to preview the T20 series. And please stick on with us till the end of the episode. We'll be giving you fantasy tips for the first T20I. Boys, how are we doing? First things first, how disappointed you were or how happy you were with the performance in the ODI series? Just a quick word around the table. Suman?
Watch our third one-day preview to know my reactions.
Akash?
Should have been 3-0. Disappointed that Padikkal didn't get a chance. But overall, good for Dhawan and good for the younger generation.
Vishak?
There were some good performances. For example, someone like Rahul Chahar. As someone said, we have already spoken enough in the review. So I think people can check out there.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put everyone in a spot. I'm going to ask you guys of the predicted 11 because this is a massive squad. No one really knows what's going to happen. So fantasy tips obviously will be a combination of what we think would be a combined 11, which we would expect you to maybe score maximum points on. But what could be the predicted 11? Vishak, starting with you.
I think Devdutt Padikkal will get a chance. And we'll lose out on one fantasy uncapped player, as I was telling you, Sanjay was telling us before the show. So, yeah, so he'll get a debut and he'll open mostly with Dhawan. And I think both the keepers will play, Ishan Kishan and Sanju Samson, because I think Manish Pandey does not deserve a place in the T20 side.
Wow.
Then would be the two Pandya brothers. And, yeah, the number 7 spot is somewhat I'm thinking about, and it will be 8 will be Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Deepak Chahar. I think Rahul Chahar will definitely play, and Kuldeep Yadav will be the other one. I think Rahul Chahar should definitely play because he performed pretty well and he has been doing pretty well with the Mumbai Indians as well. So I think number 7 I'm a little bit I'll have to think out, and it should be some all-rounder who can bowl a little bit as well.
Lots of big calls from Vishak. Did I hear right that you haven't picked Prithvi Shaw?
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay. Akash?
Okay, so from my perspective, I think it will be the 11 guys who will be vying for a spot for the World Cup because your major senior players are already playing in England. So whatever the leftover spots are there, that's where these guys will be fighting for. And I don't see any kind of an experiment happening in this particular series. But
Dravid and Shikhar already mentioned that this series is no precursor for T20 selection.
Absolutely, but you have to give them chances. Only then you will know that who is ready to go to the World Cup. So I would still think that the best players will play the matches. In that case, I will agree with most of the changes which Vishak has mentioned. Maybe a couple of them. I would rest Dhawan. I would probably start playing with Shaw and Padikkal, and then maybe bring in Dhawan later in the series. And Varun Chakravarti definitely should get a look in. He looks an interesting bowler, so in these conditions, I think he'll be helpful.
I think the one I missed out was a very crucial player. It's Surya Kumar Yadav. Sorry for that.
That's fine. Suman, you can give me some players you think will be featuring in this one, or if you can pick 11, why not go for it?
Yeah, Dhawan I don't think will sit out because he is equally interested in going in T20 squad. Whether he'll make it or no, time will tell. Dhawan's on, then Padikkal will for surely get all the 3 games like how Sky and Manish got on the ODIs. Sky definitely, Nitish Rana probably because comes with the reputation. Then Ishan Kishan. Sadly, Sanju and Ishan in a T20 game, I don't think we have place for both. There should be only one. Then Hardik Pandya, like all of you said, in T20 game is non-negotiable. Bhuvi, hopefully, death overs. God help us if he is losing form, but hopefully not. Then Rahul Chahar, after seeing what he did today in international level, and even if his attitude, intent, he definitely belongs in the international arena. Varun Chakravarti, and then between Chahal and Kuldeep, I don't know. I mean, it's a toss of coin because both of them are in same thing. And then fast bowling option, Saini is not being that effective, but I don't think we have any other choice. But Sakaria maybe because he's bowled well in ODI games, so just pick the momentum and give him the first T20. Never know.
What about Deepak Chahar, Suman?
I meant to say Deepak Chahar after seeing today. Or who was the spinner? I get confused. Who is the
No,
spinner?
Deepak Chahar is the pacer. Rahul Chahar is the spinner.
I see.
Deepak Chahar is the all-rounder. I'm sorry.
All rounder.
Look, Deepak Chahar is guaranteed in the squad for T20 World Cup. So I would think they would rest him because we do need him fresh because there's a hectic IPL coming up and right after that T20 World Cup. And he did fantastically well in ODIs.
I'm going to try and pick my team. Help me out if I miss anyone. So, Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan, because Shikhar Dhawan's place himself is not secure in my opinion. If Virat Kohli is going to say that he's going to open for all of the IPL matches, he's potentially looking to open in the World Cup as well. That's what I think. So, Shikhar Dhawan definitely will be playing. Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, we'll come to number 5 maybe later. Hardik Pandya definitely, Krunal Pandya brothers, yes. Then we have Deepak Chahar, Bhuvi, Varun Chakravarti. I'm still looking for. And then number 5, I would pick. Who are the options? What are the options
SKY.
We have Manish, we have Samson, we have Ruturaj.
Samson.
I would pick Sanju Samson ahead of Manish Pandey. I think Manish Pandey, as much as I like him, or maybe I not like him, he's a good player, but it's so frustrating. And I know in the ODI series, everyone's had the Manish Pandey sort of innings where he would show promise 20, 30, 40, never deliver. But he's not got age on his side. People like Surya Kumar Yadav coming, although he's of the same age, coming and straight away scoring decent runs. Ishan Kishan straight away showing the kind of explosive batting he can do. Prithvi Shaw, the kind of starts he does, I'm surprised, Vishak, you haven't picked him. He's probably the most certain one to play all 3 games, is what I feel. But who knows? I wouldn't pick Devdutt Padikkal. I think he's a great prospect, not just for T20s, ODIs. I think in Test matches as well. But his time will come. I think it's a bit too early. That's what I think.
Time to run, Sanjay. 2 RCBs and you're saying DDP, not in T20.
I support RCB because they haven't won the IPL yet. But I like Devdutt Padikkal. Probably a bit more than Prithvi Shaw. But in the team dynamics, currently, I think we need someone who can just go after everything, irrespective of whether they lose their wicket or not, because you've got so many players similar, like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. Shikhar Dhawan, although has changed his method of batting in the last 2 seasons, he's becoming more and more aggressive with a higher strike rate. But you need someone to just go hammer and tongs right from ball 1.
And I'll tell you what, if I get it that 2 of you picked 2 keepers in the 11, the downside of it is you won't have a bowling option. You will deliberately negate a bowling option. But instead of Samson, you go with somebody like Krishnappa Gautam or Krunal. They can bat and they can bowl number 5 or 6. That's the option.
I had Krunal as well. So I picked up 5 bowlers in my 11. And the top 6 were batsmen. So in the top 6, I had both my keepers. So I went in with the 7th option as the all-rounder. 6 and 7 as the all-rounders, the Pandya brothers.
And if you also look at grand scheme of things, in T20, the real squad or the real 11, there's only place for 2, KL Rahul and Rishabh. That's the reality.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because KL Rahul, I don't know whether his place is certain. He cannot
in a T20 game, you're not picking Rahul?
No, it's not certain, I think. Is it?
Why not? He'll
do
play
the middle order. He'll play the middle order.
Yeah.
He can do speed anchor and he can also erupt when you need. And when he really goes after the bowling, guys, he's going to get as fast as 100, possibly.
I think we really need to field 2 teams now because there's so many players. I feel bad leaving out people. Might as well just play 2 teams and we still end up maybe having 2 semi-finalist spot and then winning the World Cup.
It increases the chances of winning the World Cup. India A and India A.
Yeah.
I think every place in the 11 has at least 2 or 3 options right now for Team India, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Happy place to be in.
Yeah, but I still think the biggest problem for India in T20 cricket, as Suman pointed out, is you need to get 4 overs from top 5, 6 players. Look at any top teams like West Indies. So many players can give you overs. Whereas India, one is top six, no one bowls. Another is the bottom 3, 4 players hardly can contribute. You look at
Exactly.
England and everyone around the world, things have changed. Everyone's got 2 decent all rounders. Even Pakistan got Shadab Khan, Imad Wasim. They'll guarantee give you 7, 8 overs and can bat 6, 7 in any T20 side. So it's
Even Livingston bowls. Even Livingston bowls for that matter for England. Off spin,
exactly.
leg spin, anything. So you got to
Yeah,
figure out somebody.
Moeen Ali bats in the top 4, gives you handy overs. He's another one. So they like all the teams have all rounders. Yeah, India definitely like the top 5. We are proper batsmen. So that's the problem.
Yeah, and this is why I wouldn't mind seeing a Nitish Rana, because if he can give you 2 overs, I still remember those back-to-back deliveries he got with De Villiers and Kohli. So he's definitely got some talent. If he can, get you 2 overs and bat reasonably well, why not? Because anyways, if you're batting at 5, 6, you're not going to get more than 15, 20 balls on an average. So an extra bowling option would be absolute gold dust. But yeah, I think if we start discussing about the potential World T20 squad, we'll be here for another hour. So let's quickly start with the predictions before we move on to the fantasy. Come on, guys. We predicted 6-0. It's already 2-1. 3 more to go. No one gave Sri Lanka a prayer. Are we being
I still
generous?
am 3-0 T20s to India.
Same here. 3-0 T20s to India.
No, if we don't experiment much, I think it will be 3-0. And if we experiment, it will be 2-1.
Yeah, Sri Lanka is not even is playing in the qualifying spots for World T20, so that's how lower ranked they are compared to India. But India, to be honest, of all the 3 suits, I think this is India's weakest form in cricket. But my
What about
personal
you?
opinion.
What about you, Sanjay? What do you think?
I think we'll win 2-1. I
2-1.
think Sri Lanka will win one game. I think we'll probably have a collapse somewhere or the other. And it's a T20 game. Anyone can win it. Avishka Fernando having a blinder of an innings or something like that, or Asranga picking up 3, 4 wickets. That is it. If this was a test match, then I'm not giving Sri Lanka any chance. But T20, I'm sure they can pull off a win.
Any wild cards at all in India's squad? For example, Krishna Gautam. Will he take a hat trick or will he score a fastest 50 given a chance? Ishan.
No, I don't think. Krishna
You know,
Gautam, I'm not sure why he is in the squad first. He was not even picked by Chennai Super Kings in the first squad. So I'm not sure why he was in the squad. I think he missed the easy delivery today. It was a full toss which he missed, and his bowling is also half decent, not that great. If he, in an ODI game, I don't think he gives you 10 overs, or in every T20 game, I don't think he can give you 4 overs every day. So you need all in your all-rounder category. You need those bowlers who can give you 4 overs and bat decently. I don't think he is that kind of a player.
But I'm not surprised that Krishna Gautam or even Nitish Rana is here. This clearly shows that even the management wants, and the fact that they played the third T20, third ODI, they want someone who can contribute with the bat and contribute with the ball, bits and pieces player, whatever you may want to call them. But you need someone to fill in that gap, because I don't think they are confident enough that come World T20, Hardik Pandya is going to turn up and bowl 2, 3 overs or 4 overs. Because Hardik Pandya is capable enough to just step into the team as a batsman, but we have too many batsmen. We need someone who can roll their arm over. Otherwise, I think there'll be a big game and we will have 6 batsmen who cannot roll their arm over, and we'll be in big trouble. One bowler going for 50, 60 runs. And you can have as many top order batsmen as you want, and it won't be enough.
And one last question, another wild card. Ruturaj Gaikwad. What if he gets all 3 games? Will he make it to T20 World Cup squad?
I would be very surprised if he gets any game. And to be honest, in terms of pecking order, I don't think he should be getting one unless 2 or 3 players falls sick or whatnot. Doesn't
No, I
matter.
don't think
Absolutely.
Ruturaj Gaikwad will get a game. And I think Devdutt Padikkal is in the higher picking order than him. So if anyone deserves a game time, it will be Devdutt Padikkal, not Ruturaj Gaikwad.
I think I know why. Okay.
No. I agree. Even in terms of domestic form, Devdutt Padikkal has
Yeah.
scored lots of runs. Shaw and Devdutt Padikkal have scored the most runs in Vijay Hazare. There's not been Ranji Trophy last year. Even in T20 IPL, which is our premier domestic tournament, they've scored a lot of runs. They definitely deserve to go ahead of anyone else playing for any franchise.
And even in the domestic this season, Ruturaj Gaikwad hasn't performed well for Maharashtra. It's just that he performed pretty well for Chennai Super Kings in few games. So that's the
Looks a
thing. But
good prospect though. Like we are spoiled for choices. That's what it is. In
And
another era, all these guys would have played few matches.
what about Shardul? Does he stand a chance in the T20 World Cup squad?
I forgot. Is he not in the squad?
No, he's
he's
part
in
of
England.
the. He's in England.
Yeah.
He's
He's
in
part of the
England.
England team.
So that means he's going to UAE, part of
Yes,
T20 World
definitely,
Cup.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely
Definitely,
is
yeah.
going in
And
this.
Washi.
Washi as
Yeah,
well.
Washi too. Yeah, they are all
Watson,
first-string.
we
I mean,
need to see how serious his injury is. We recently heard that he is injured. He is injured his finger and is out of
Doesn't
the
matter.
test
I think
series. So we'll have to see how serious his injury is, whether he'll be fit for the IPL and the T20 World Cup.
there will be a
pretty
lot of
fast, right?
heartbreaks in the T20 World Cup squad after it is announced. There'll be a lot
Absolutely.
of Twitter posts from cricketers trying to take a dig at 3D players.
I think because the next World Cup is round the corner, I don't think anyone would shoot in their foot by doing what the other guy did. But I'm sure Washi would be disappointed. One is because realistically speaking, he was never having any chance in the Test squad. He was there as a backup, but he would have been able to play as a senior player in this set of things. And he's not here, and now there he's injured as well. So it's really unfortunate. But he's one player I think you can potentially bet on developing into a top six batsman, and he will pretty
All
much give
rounder.
you 3-4 overs every time. And I know Akash has been saying this for years and years, probably that he should bat in top three for RCB, but doesn't seem to happen.
We do need to work out on the genuine spin department. It's not logged in. We have Chahar, Varun, Yadav. That's it.
Jadeja.
Jadeja.
He's not a
Jadeja.
genuine spinner, right? He's an all-rounder. So what?
Yeah.
There are only 4 options. I think that's where our weak link is. That those 8 overs of spin out of 20 will probably be the deciding factor.
Someone, you're forgetting your favorite Krunal Pandya.
He's not a spinner again, Vishak. He's an all-rounder.
He does a job. I think
Rahul
the
Chahar
more
for
I
me is a
think,
must. I
Huh?
think Rahul Chahar for me is a must. He seems to be a very wily bowler, and considering Chahal's form at the moment, I think Rahul Chahar definitely should proceed ahead of any of these.
The only missing link is somebody like Rashid Khan who can squeeze that 4 overs off in 20, like proper one. And then our team combination is pretty good for World Cup.
yeah, who knows? Varun Chakravarti might be the man. All he needs is an opportunity.
Dark horse. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the one who's keeping Kuldeep Yadav away from the side, and Kuldeep is the one who's keeping him away from the international side. But I'm sure he's going to get a game. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get a game again. But who knows? There's some calls being made probably from England to Sri Lanka to ask people to try out certain players. That's why you're seeing a squad which you're probably expecting. But let's quickly have a look at the fantasy team. Vishak.
Yeah, we have gone with the keeper. We have gone with Sanju Samson. I think he would perform pretty well in the T20s. He's done pretty well for Rajasthan Royals, and he has some experience in the T20 circuit as well. So we've gone with him. It was a tough choice between Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan, but we eventually picked Sanju Samson. And among the batsmen, Surya Kumar Yadav has done pretty well in the ODI series. He was the man of the series, but he did not kick on. But in the T20s, if we expect him to bat in the top 4 and do pretty well. And we have gone with him as the captain. We have also picked Prithvi Shaw, though I didn't pick him in the 11, which I actually predicted. So if he plays, I think a quick fire 30 or 40 would do good. That's why we have picked him. And we have picked Avishka Fernando, who's been in pretty good form, and Dasun Shanaka, who can also bowl and bat in the middle order. This rounds up our batters.
All-rounders, Hardik Pandya, Hasaranga and Krunal Pandya. I think those 3 can give you proper 12 overs and also tonk a little bit. 125 strike rate for sure. And bowlers, Bhuvi Kumar, hopefully he gets some swing and slightly riskier from a death bowling point of view, but quality always. Dhananjay Akila, Vishak, he's the one who took a hat trick and gave six sixes.
Yes, he's the one.
So he has a track record of doing something magical. And then Rahul Chahar, who seems to be the find of the tour so far. We knew that in Mumbai Indians camp he bowled well, but from an international arena, for sure he is going to be here for a long, long play when it comes to Team India. So that sums up our 11.
Akash, you're surprised we haven't got Dhawan here. We've got him in the picture, the biggest picture we have of Dhawan, but he isn't in the team. Looking at his IPL form in the last couple of years, he looks someone who's almost a certainty to be in any squad.
Absolutely. I mean, he's tweaked his game a bit. He is, looked to be aggressive at the start as well, irrespective of the opponent. So I think he will feature at some stage during this series, but probably for the first match, I think they might go with Shaw or Padikkal at the top. So probably he might get a rest since Bhuvi got a rest in the third ODI. You might never know. You might see Dhawan resting for the first T20.
Excellent. Lots to look forward to for the T20I series. I personally, to be honest, more than the ODIs, I look forward to the T20 ones because it's not you have to spend the entire day. Generally, it's in the evenings and you 3.5 hours you're done with it. ODIs is becoming more like test matches for me. I do keep a track of it online. It's difficult to watch unless it's a massive tournament decider or a big World Cup game. So test matches I do love, and T20s I do love. One day is getting a lot of boring games these days. But yeah, Sri Lanka series has been fine so far. That was my view of what's happening in world cricket and how do I enjoy each and every segment of international cricket. Before we leave you, a couple of really important points on the fantasy tips. The tips we provide in this video are only for entertainment purposes, personal views. Any losses you may incur, it's not Waadaplayer's members' responsibility. Also, this game is addictive and involves a financial element. Please be responsible and play it at your own risk. This game is applicable only for people over 18. If you're here for the first time, please do check out our channel for lots of cricketing contents you will potentially like. And if you like something, please do subscribe to our channel. We really look forward to hearing from you. Vishak, Akash, and Suman, thanks for your time. And for our viewers, we'll hope to see you back on another day, another show. Till then, please be safe and take care.
Thank you for watching.
Stay safe, everyone.